Hello there, and welcome to using AI for modeling. This is Meshy AI. Here's they are. Um, you, here's a whole bunch of stuff that was made with Meshy AI. As you can see, it's a very powerful tool. It's available for free. Um, don't get a lot of coins. It works on a coin system, but you do get enough to kind of try it out and see if you like it. This is the Meshy interface. It consists of the stuff you made. I can push that over a little bit. You can resize your stuff. um, this is where you would type in what you want to have made. These are all options. These are all options for uh, how to change your meshes and stuff once you have them. It has two different ways to go. You can drag an image in here and it will do its best to create that image in 3D, or you can use text to 3D where you would put in a prompt here and it would generate that. So let's just jump right in. I have already um, generated a prop. It's a well from a village. Thought it went good with our decorative hut we did before. This was the prompt I used, a village well made from rocks with rope and a wooden bucket. And what Meshy does is generates four different options for you. And then you pick the one you would like and you can refine it. Um, when you're looking at this, um, if you're, uh, you can spin it around and look all over the place. And you can do that individually with each one to get a better look at it. Um, and when you pick the one you want, then you can add a texture to it and then begin refining the mesh. So I wanted a rock one, so this one's a barrel. That wouldn't really do so well. Uh, this is a pretty good rock one, but I don't need um, these side rocks. And see up here, um, AI does a lot of this kind of, I can't really tell what's going on, so I'm just going to put some goopy stuff down. So as good as all this is kind of doesn't work. So you want to be careful selecting meshes with that kind of stuff happening. Um, I went with this one. It's got the rock thing, uh, the wooden pallets, the wooden roof tiles here are pretty solid. The geometry isn't too crazy. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of um, slop going on. Um, and so since I'm happy with this, I could come over here and go confirm generation. Um, I can have it be adaptive, which means that it tries to generate as many polygons or as minimum polygons as are needed for this so that the poly count doesn't get too high. I could do max, which generates a lot of polygons and makes it look a little better, but is very hard to work with. If you wanted to change it, for instance, oh, I only wanted one bucket, or I want to dig out the bottom and have this go way down, then you don't want a whole lot of polygons um, because it makes it hard to work with. Fixed, you can choose how many polygons. Um, and you can, I'm sorry, you can choose levels of adapted. I just left it at adaptive and high. You can do tris or quads. Um, there's sort of an explanation of what those are. Tris are, each quad has two tris in it, so whether it's broken down into triangles or quads, most people who do any kind of modeling do it in quads, not tris. Um, but you have that option if you want it. You can generate a texture, yes or no, and you can generate a PBR texture. PBR textures are textures used in video games, If you're planning on exporting this into a game engine, then you probably want to click this button there. And I hit confirm uh, and choose on it for a while. And this is what it comes out as. In fact, here, I'll just go through the process with you. This one, confirm, and then you can see it starts generating the model. It gives you a little clicker point here, and this menu here is mimicked over here. These are previous models that I made of people and bees and rock guys and stuff. While this is generating, I'll go over to the community. You also have a huge community where you can go into these and see what their prompts were, or down. A lot of times, people allow you to download um, what they've created. Some nice-ish houses. My opinion, AI stuff is really good if you're going to have it in the background. But if you're in a game and you have to run up to it, it doesn't hold up um, super close. Uh, the characters do, but the props, like buildings and things, bigger things like buildings, don't hold up as well. So you may need, if you're going to generate like something like this garbage can would probably be okay, but if I had this house in my game, I would want it to be in the distance. However, if I had this character in my game, it'd be perfect as the character I'm playing with that you see all the time, or that you go if I need to talk to one of these people. All right, let's go back to our workspace. Oh, I'm sorry. So here's my assets. This is my private collection of stuff. Um, these are the community assets. That's everybody's stuff. Um, here's some resources on how to tutorials and stuff on how to use Meshy in case you get um, lost on something or you want to do something special. And if I go back to my workspace, you can see here's my well, and these are the two generations. It's the same thing basically. So now you notice I have these buttons up here. So I can go in and I can look at, these are the quads that it made. Each one of these little squares is a quad. And if I were to go in and bring this into Maya, I'd be able to edit that pretty easily. Pretty easily. It's still a little thick. Um, here's environmental settings. This is what it uses to render. You can bring in your own thing. That's PBR. PBR means it has all 5 of these materials to it, or 3, 4 materials to it. This is a normal map. This is the metallic map. This is the roughness, and that's the color, or the albedo. Albedo is color. Roughness is the reflectiveness of light on stuff. Metallic is what the surface looks like. Normal is the bump map on everything, so any kind of like wood grain or something. Um, and you put these 3 together. Oftentimes there's 5 things in a PBR material, but we have 4 here. So I must have it set on Unity and not Unreal. Um, that's a story for a different day. Okay, here is um, just the albedo, just this one, the albedo, just the color. It's also often called the diffuse. All right. And here's the transition. I don't know why they have this other than it's kind of cool looking. There's what the model looks like without anything on it. There's what it looks like with just the color map. And then here's what it looks like with the metal and the other bit. Great. If you're happy with this, you can then download it. Just hit download and it'll download and you're good to go. If for some reason you would like to remesh this, like say, oh, this is too heavy for me, you can come in here to remesh and like take it down. So I still want quads, but I want it to only be 10K. And you can just hit confirm. And it'll start working on that. In the meantime, a lot of waiting for AI to finish with all AI programs. The Meshy is pretty fast. Okay, so when you download a file, it gives you a compressed file like this white one, and you right click on it and go extract all, and it'll extract it into this, and it kind of names it for whatever you named it originally. You can go in here and get rid of all this. Go in here, and then here is our FBX model, and here's our materials. Now, it is a problem is that the materials are automatically generated, so they're very hard to edit a material. Like you can edit overall color, but like trying to just change those rock colors here means that you have to go in and edit all this stuff. The unwrapping of an AI model is a bit rough. Um, okay, so here's a lower polygon version of this, and I don't mind that at all. I think that's still solid. Um, so let's download that. Sometimes when you get to a lower polygon model in Meshy, it will, sorry, it will change the mapping. So let's see if that's done that here. Come back here, grab this. You can see I have my two things here. That one. Got to leave the .zip. Like that. Two. Extract all. Okay. And there we have all of our stuff. And look, it did. It made the material. This is a much easier material to work with, isn't it, than the previous one. Like we could actually change the color of the rocks and stuff. Yeah. It's very interesting that the UVs are different. This is a much better UV, easier to work with. All right. Let's call it Maya and see what this looks like in Maya. All right, with Maya now open, we can just grab our, well, FBX and put it in there. Move this out of the way. Put our well. And you can kind of see things get a little fuzzy. But it's much easier to work with now. Great. So like I said, this one's not as bad, but you can tell there's weird stuff happens. It mushes together and then tries to play that off with textures. and the cuts don't necessarily follow the textures, which is a little rough. The geometry, like normally if you were building this, the geometry you create would follow the textures. AI, not so much. You have to deal with this, and if you need it to be separate, um, it's a little harder um, to work that. So uh, it's so when you use AI to make stuff, you have to consider, will it save me time um, doing this? Is this prop going to be just in the distance? Like you'll only see it ever like up on a hill over here. You'll never actually like get up next to it. Uh, the second you get up next to it, you start going, oh wait, that's just painted on. Oh, what's happening with that rope is all messed up. Um, so very good for if you're trying to fill out like a village and you need places where the character won't go in a game or something, or you need to render something out. I mean, it renders out really nicely. I'll if I call it Arnold. Sorry. Yeah, I'm out of my render frame. There we go. Worst host ever. Ah, that's why it just keeps snapping. All right. So I go into Arnold. I created a thing. And now just make sure we're rendering an Arnold. And all right. Hmm, how nice. No. So you can see it looks good in game. Just I don't know that you could sit on it in the game because then you would start noticing this stuff. Now, get rid of that. If you want to use this, modifying this uh, to modifying a AI object is a whole different story. Like if we wanted this to twist and get rid of this, and we'll cover that in the next section. But for quick and simple, it's hard to beat that. That would have taken me an hour or two to make. All right, the next section will modify this for animation.